My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Operation Fortune. I know there's like a subtitle of Woo's the Guru, but yeah, I'm just calling it Operation Fortune. And this movie had me very curious because I was excited to see this movie when it was supposed to come out on March 18th, 2022. And then the movie just didn't get released. And I'm like, that's odd. And I couldn't find much about why. So for a whole year, this movie was in complete limbo. And then it came to theaters in the States on March 3rd. It didn't come to theaters in Canada, so I had to wait a little bit. And I heard very mixed things about this movie. You combine that with the delay, and I did not have high expectations. And I'm legitimately really surprised at just how much fun I had with it. Now, I could understand some people watching it and just being like, oh, it's a generic spy movie. And there's certainly generic elements in it, but what got this movie to legitimately really good for me is the star power involved. Jason Statham is an excellent action actor. He has charisma, he has personality, and he can also handle himself during the action scenes incredibly well. And I think that he does a very good job here. Then you've got Aubrey Plaza, who I love as an actress, and her performance here is a little all over the place. There's an element where she's trying to be like a sexy femme fatale, and then there's other moments where she just leans into the goofiness. But it all really worked for me. I thought she was highly entertaining on screen, and I loved her chemistry with Jason Statham. I thought they worked really well together. And then you've got Hugh Grant as the villain who's just chewing up the scenery. He's having a total blast, and you can tell. And I thought he was great to watch. You got Josh Arnett, who I actually think is an underrated actor, and I think he had lots of personality, and I really liked him. You've got Bugsy Malone, who doesn't have a ton to do, but he's perfectly fine. You've got Cary Elwes, who I thought gave his best performance in a while. So the cast is what elevated this movie for me in every sense. They just took what could have been a very forgettable, generic script, and they just bring so much personality and so much fun into it. And I do think Guy Ritchie does a good job directing it. It's not as stylized as Man from Uncle, but it definitely has its moments, and I do like what he brings to this movie. I also loved some decisions he made. Like the movie begins, and there's a dude walking down the hallway, and you hear his footsteps, and then the music in the background for the next scene has like a similar sound to those footsteps. And I'm like, okay, I like that. There's a scene when he chose the song Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head to play, and I liked that moment. And during the last act, he does a bunch of weird camera angles during the action sequences, and I really liked that. So I think the directing is still pretty good. And the story, despite being fairly generic, I was still engaged with. This whole idea of this movie star having to act like himself, I thought was really funny. And just the plot, I liked how there was a bad team going after the bad guys, but for different reasons. So there was a bit more conflict. And yeah, despite it being slightly generic, I still think there was enough here that I was engaged. I think the movie is quite funny. There was a few scenes that had me laughing out loud. One scene involving a guy named Ben Harris I thought was just great. I thought the action sequences were pretty decent. There was one chase scene though, where Jason Statham is chasing a dude, and it just was very underwhelming. But all the hand-to-hand action sequences was great. And yeah, I just had fun with this movie. I'm not going to say it's great or it's going to change your life, but for what I was expecting, this movie delivered far more than I thought it would. I had a lot of fun with this movie. The cast constantly elevates it. It's funny. It's just a fun time, and if you want that, I think you'll be satisfied. So I'll give Operation Fortune a 7 out of 10. Okay, have you seen Operation Fortune? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin